Welcome to the Practical Ascension Podcast. I'm your host and soul alchemist, Tracy Goody. Stay with me for practical guidance and flow for your modern life through this time of ascension. June Akashic Insight Forecast. So this June is going to see us continue on this path of ascendant growth, really accelerating in 2020 again. Now, we have set our intentions for what we desire to see in our lives and across the earth. A lot of us have been giving that some thought the last, couple of months. Now, here we are presented with all these planetary retrogrades and even bringing eclipses into the picture in June. So we have this ample opportunity to connect within, work through resistance, and gain clarity on our next level embodiment just in time for this big summer solstice celebration. I'm so excited for June. Now, as we enter June, we've still got 4 planets in retrograde to start. We have Venus, who's going to wrap up the retrograde period on the 25th, but it's going to be swinging some real relationship shadows around until then. This is included your relationship with yourself, of course, your key relationships as well. So question yourself in this energy. Question what path you really want to walk. So contemplate what direction feels best for you. Is there a particular subject that's really calling you to learn more? Something to switch up. These nudges are leading you into greater awareness of who you are. And if you're doing the inner work, a deeper sense of self-acceptance is coming in with this Venus retrograde as well. Now, we also have a Jupiter that's still in retrograde throughout June, and that adds kind of this dreamy energy of considering your path forward, and it also kind of pulls down and grounds the energy by asking you what your goals are, and how do those goals feed you? Are you setting these goals based on your soul desires or based on the perspective and opinions of others? Consider not only your goals, but your motivations as well. So already there's a lot of inner work going on there and a lot of getting really, really clear about who you are, what you want, and what you want going forward. So honestly, we really have this opportunity just for so much reset and this deeper sense of self-knowing and self-acceptance in June. All right, so moving on. We also have Saturn in retrograde. And this is giving additional focus to your confidence levels. This can feel like a bit of a punch for some people who might be doubting themselves and potentially feeling fear energy about what is next, what's coming up next on your personal journey. So again, this focus and invitation is to go within and recalibrate your confidence and embody and own how amazing you are. So this is the real focus. This is the true focus here. But if you're working these confidence shadows, if you're noticing these shadows come up, this resistance come up, or especially around confidence, it can totally feel like hell. So ask yourself, what belief am I holding on to that is lowering my confidence level? And then what belief am I ready to embody that will increase my confidence level? So again, the timing of this retrograde is ideal for a serious celebration come summer solstice. So it's almost like we have all of these invitations for this work and this embodiment and this looking within throughout the month of June. And then as we get closer to the, midway, 2/3 of the way through June, it starts to really open up into this really grounded self-acceptance and empowerment and action as you're moving towards the end of June. So still on these retrogrades here, next up is Pluto retrograde. Now, this is still in retrograde, and it's still in this very kind of deeply supportive energy of shadow work. So Pluto's also working with the energy of the other planets and helping you to spot your destructive belief patterns so that you can put an end to them and rein in more of the energy of success. So Pluto's really reminding us that we need to focus on what we focus on consistently expands. So if you're focusing on something for a small period of time, you're not likely to expand it. But it's those thoughts that are repetitive, that go through your mind every day, and even that are running at the subconscious level. When you're focusing on them, they expand. That reminder is coming up really, really big. So Pluto's bringing through the message, what are you focusing on? Asking you to pay attention to this and ask yourself that question and ask if it's something that you want to see expand or not. All right, so there's still a few more planetary influence, but I'm going to circle back to those in a minute. So right now, I just want to talk a little bit about just the energy of June. So obviously, we have a lot of options and invitations into our greatness by way of releasing belief patterns, considering our path and goals, and really restructuring anything that feels off-balanced or heavy. We have the opportunity to transmute that into gold, into empowerment, into who you really are on a soul level and living life from this place. So your job is not to work on everything at once. Pay attention to what most jumps out at you as you listen to this forecast and start there. So that's your June map starting point, right? So all of these things going on in June, all of these supportive energies, your starting point is whatever's grabbing to you. I'm really wanting you to pay attention to these nudges, these intuitive kind of pulls that come to you, that your guides are really leading you to the area that's going to make the best, biggest impact in your life. If, your focus and your intuition, and really those are the two, that's what it is. Your focus and your intuition are the two most powerful aspects in June. If you can trust yourself, if you can know yourself and know your path, if you can just allow that knowledge and that wisdom to sink in, to realize that you know so much more than you think you do, it can really create these miraculous shifts coming towards the end of June. All right, so now back to the planetary influences. So the moon in June. On June 5th, we have this full moon eclipse. So there's this heightened emotional energy and intuitive energy of the moon that's always present with the full moons. And in June, it's really amplified even more by the retrogrades. So this wave of change that we're beginning to see, that right now, it's really in the chaos stages. That energy is going to be amplified. So keep your awareness and mindfulness, very important to keep those near you. Be aware of what really your emotions are trying to tell you. And also being aware of if the emotions are yours or if it's something you're feeling from the collective. So a lot of empaths are feeling a lot of this fear and this chaos from the collective. Get practice at clearing your energy field and grounding your energy consistently. Now, once you're releasing and you're actually knowing what is your emotions and what is other people's emotions, focus on your actual emotions because they are guiding you. Now, if there's injustices that you are focused on, be aware of how you are focusing on them. So what I mean by this is, are you focused on the injustice from a place of powerlessness and fear, which is kind of the default? That's what we start to go to, right? Or are you focused on it from the energy of warrior of the light? So again, it's this reference to the summer solstice, this warrior of the light energy. Now, when you're focused on injustices that call to you and you feel anger or grief, that anger or grief, for an example, that's waking you up. So that's an emotion that's waking you up. That emotion has a job that wants to wake you up, that wants to shake you up and be like, hey, look at this. This is not okay. Those emotions are tricky to ignore, so they come up to the surface to get your attention. And then from there, it's your choice. If you are going to then focus on it, take action, if it's something you feel like taking action on, with the energy of the victim or the energy of the empowered. So remember, you can make an impact through this energy of empowerment. But when you shrink down to this victim energy, this victim level, it makes actions fall flat. So remind yourself throughout June that you are a warrior of the light. How can you serve? How can you show up in a way that is empowered and compassionate? There's likely to be healing in this energy as well, as many are moving their focus from this victim powerlessness to the warrior of light empowered energy. I feel that energy going throughout June and really getting started with that full moon eclipse on June 5th. As you reclaim your power through your conscious choice, you help others to do the same and then rise in their own way, right? So you're emitting this empowered energy. You're emitting this warrior of the light who is making changes in your own life and standing up and making a change for different areas of the world that maybe are calling your focus, different things that are calling your focus. And as you do that through the empowered energy, through the warrior of the light, you're waking up those around you, that you don't have to resist something or fight against something from the energy of blame or from the energy of victim. You can rise above that and ask how you can really serve to affect change in this area. All right, so now back to the planetary retrogrades. We're welcoming in Mercury, yay, to the retrograde club on the 18th. Now, this retrograde, while the undercurrent of communication and clarity, they always run there with the Mercury retrograde, there's also this deeper energy of releasing what's not working, again, with that energy of reevaluation. This retrograde, and has serious support from other planets, it's really going to be screaming at us to be aware of our comfort zones. So it was funny visuals that came through when I was tuning into this energy. But it's basically to ask ourselves, where can I stretch this comfort zone? Or where does it just not fit me anymore? So it's like Mercury has spotted the oldest, kind of like these hole-ridden, stained pair of comfy sweats, right? So this is the comfort zone that Mercury is talking about. And when you wear these pants, you feel like garbage and you want to eat crappy food and watch crappy TV. And this is not a problem if you indulge in this comfort zone occasionally. Absolutely not. We all need this comfort zone every once in a while. But what about when you haven't even noticed that you've been wearing these pants for months or even years or your entire life? So Mercury is asking that we look at our comfort zone, just like these ratty pair of sweatpants, and ask, is this really me? Where am I ready to evolve past this? What topic or idea really makes me want to leap out of this comfort zone? So stretching out of the comfort zone, big message coming from Mercury here. Now, my personal favorite part of the month, on June 21st, we have both our new moon eclipse and summer solstice. So this energy is just pure chaotic magic. We're in a lot of chaotic energy lately, but that's not always a bad thing. That means that change is happening. So with the new moon influences of planting intentions, we have been listening to the planets all month, and maybe if we've been doing the work, we'll be pretty damn clear at this point as to what we want to let go of and what we want to bring in. Because this energy mixes with the summer solstice, you might want to express your intention in kind of like a dramatic, embodied way. So think maybe creating an updated vision board, dancing around a big bonfire and burning your intentions on bay leaves, or sharing in a supportive circle with an expanded heart. Be creative. Have a lot of fun with your intentions at this time of the month. And most importantly, enjoy yourself. So this is really this time of celebration and abundance and embodied wisdom. When you embrace that and when you can be grateful for who you are, be grateful for all your magic and your gifts, the more of this kind of joyful inner child energy that you embody with the awareness of the sage wise woman. So it's like, I am this sage wise woman, I have been practicing this, but at the same time, I'm allowing this joyful inner child to come out and play because there's so much value in this. The more you can be in that energy, the more support and magic and joy that are available to you, that you are embodying, the more momentum your intentions are going to hold. Now, again, this is if you choose it. So again, June 21st, new moon happening, summer solstice, this beautiful celebratory childlike energy for creating your intentions and really, really putting some momentum in them. All right, so finally on June 23rd, Neptune joins the retrograde season. So this one is anchoring in that energy of awareness even more. Intuition is being turned up and it's almost going to feel a little weird, right? So your discernment is going to be key here. What is the truth? What is illusion? You get to decide this for yourself. The one thing Neptune is not having is you running away from your inner knowing. So if you find you've been doing that lately, and if you find that you kind of know there are some things to look at, know there are some things to call you, but you're avoiding it for whatever reason, Neptune's really going to shake that up come closer to June 23rd. We might feel the need, this urge to numb out a little bit when this first starts, because this big energy is going to come at us and it's going to be asking some very real questions. But it's very important that we look here, which is within, we look within, even if we don't feel like it. So for times like this, I always recommend a shamanic journey or some EFT tapping to help you through the energy of resistance. Sometimes it can be a little tricky to just sit down with a journal and ask what's going on, especially when our resistance is big and we don't want to look at it. So that's when a shamanic journey or EFT really help. Now, of course, it is totally possible for the clarity work you did earlier in the month of June that you're going to be set up for this really enlightening and engaging Neptune retrograde, as long as you're staying aware and not kind of becoming complacent and just like agreeing and nodding along, tuning into your own inner wisdom. Neptune demands it. So have fun with that. Now, to wrap up, June is obviously a super impactful month. It's taking it up a notch from May, and it's setting the stage for July. We have got this warrior of light energy here. So pay attention to your intuitive nudges. Look within and be exactly who you came here to be at this time, because you are needed. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you next time.